BJP MLA, Shekhar Datta, political analyst, Tripura Mohta spokesperson, Anthony Dev Burma. Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain. Tonight at 8 p.m. Repeat at 10 p.m.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Coming up at 8 p.m. from the Northeast Live studios in Guwahati, Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Coming up at 8 p.m. from the Northeast Live studios in Guwahati, Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Northeast Tonight, in association with Everyday Spices,
Accoland Amusement Park, Annapurna Foods, Junior Holics, and Biz Farm Biscuits.
Coming up from the Northeast Live studios in Guwahati, Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. Well, it is now clear that the Tripura Motha, headed by Royal Scion Pradyut Dev Burma, is fast spreading its tentacles into Tripura's mainstream politics. First, it began as a movement for tribal aspirations in the state. Then it took a clear stand, demanding a separate Tripura land for the state's tribes people who were once a majority. Then Tripura Motha contested and won the Tripura Autonomous District Council polls in its debut poll campaign. The Motha has now decided to test the waters by fielding a candidate for the coming by-elections. And yes, Tripura Motha chief Pradyut Dev Burma has said his party will field a minimum of 35 seats in the coming assembly polls in 2023. Now, the Motha's slurs has created tremors within another tribal party, the IPFT, which is an ally of the ruling BJP in Tripura. In fact, at one stage, the IPFT apparently decided to merge with the Motha, but backed out at the last moment with its chief, NC Dev Burma, deciding to stay on as an alliance partner of the BJP. This has led to a split with the BJP IPFT combined dropping Mewar Kumar Jamatia from the ministry. Now, Mewar is siding with the Motha. What kind of an overall impact can Tripura Motha make in Tripura politics? To discuss the issue, I am joined by the man in the spotlight, Tripura Motha Chairman and Royal Scion Pradyut Debbarma. Also joining me is IPFT President and Minister in the Tripura Cabinet, NC Debbarma. Mr. Mebar Kumar Jamatia, former minister, is also in the show. BJP leader and MLA, Mr. Dr. Dilip Das, and Tripura Motha spokesperson Anthony Debbarma are also joining me from Agartala. And joining me as well is veteran journalist and political analyst Shekhar Datta. Before we begin the discussions, let's go straight to the man in the spotlight, as I have said, that is Pradyut Debbarma, the chairman of Tripura Motha. Mr. Pradyut Debbarma, welcome to Northeast Tonight. Now, Mr. Debbarma, do you think your party, Tripura Motha, has become a symbol of tribal aspirations in Tripura?
No, I see ourselves more as a movement to empower the people who have been denied their constitutional rights in the state of Tripura. I think ours is more of a fight for a constitutional right, for empowerment of the people, which includes the indigenous people, obviously, because they are the inhabitants and the native people of Tripura. But we see ourselves more as a symbol of the rights of the indigenous people and the rights of those who have been marginalized across all sections within the Constitution of India.
Right. But you have already transformed the Tripura Motha into a mainstream political party. You have put up a candidate in the ensuing by-elections. You have made your intentions clear to seriously contest the next assembly polls, that is next year.
Yes, we are still a movement because our movement cannot be bigger than our party, and our movement is for Greater Pralan.
Absolutely, but it is a fact that NC Debbarma, leader of the IPFT, had entered into a written agreement with Tripura Motha, that is your party, to merge and fight together. That was the case not too long ago.
It is a fact. It's a written agreement. It was signed before we went to Delhi for a Delhi Abhiyan. And we had both agreed that we will eventually merge on the platform of a common demand of Tripura land, Greater Tripura land. And we will fight the next elections together as one party. And we will not compromise on our ideology or our movement without a written assurance from any of the national parties.
Right, Mr. Pradyut Debbarma, you are confirming there that there was a written agreement between IPFT and your party, that is Tripura Motha, to work together. But what happened then? Is it over the issue of merger with Tripura Motha that the IPFT has split? And Debbarma staying on as the coalition partner of the BJP, and Mevar Jamatia, another senior IPFT leader, until recently a minister, and others, quitting the IPFT and moving closer to you?
No, I think it's more to do with certain people in the IPFT wanting to enjoy the privileges of the government till the government lasts till the end of the term. And there were other people like Mevar Kumar Jamatia and many other people, I wouldn't like to take names, who realized that they have to go back to the people in the next 5 or 6 months, and they have to explain what they have done for Tripura land, because they were actually elected on that demand. So someone like NC Debbarma, he is 86, 87 years old. He is unlikely to fight again. So I guess his motivation to enjoy power is a lot different than someone who wants to survive in politics and go back to the people again to be elected.
Right, Mr. Pradyut Debbarma, you are leveling a serious allegation there that NC Debbarma is motivated to stay on to power. But are you saying by clinging on to power, NC Debbarma has betrayed the tribal interests or the tribal cause?
I think he's betrayed his own family. I think he's betrayed his own people. I think he's betrayed his own party, and frankly, uh, he has become a full-time politician. I think people voted because they saw hope in him that he will get something achieved for the indigenous people through a constitutional settlement. But what he has got is only for himself. He's been a minister for 4.5 years. He has not said anything about Tripura land in the assembly. And he's come to this end where he's actually ensured that his party got 0 seats in the EDC. They lost their deposits in the Lok Sabha, and the decline of IPFT has been faster than that of any political party you would have ever seen. You see, political parties like AGP, political parties like Congress, political parties which are on the downhill have taken 5, 10, 15 years and they have slid. This party has been on a downslide from the second year it came to power.
Right, but this is Pradut Debarma here saying that NC Debarma, the IPFT chief, currently a minister, is betrayed the tribal cause. That is a big statement you are making. But Mr. Pradut Debarma, do you think the IPFT has the potential to impact tribal opinion? Do you think it is still relevant from the electoral point of view?
IPFT has a potential to sway the public opinion in favor of us, because IPFT has ensured that the public realizes that it is important to look at who the leader is. It is important to look at how gutsy and how clear the leader thinks. And so IPFT is a perfect antidote to what we are. IPFT is an exact opposite to what we are. And as long as IPFT is around, the people of Tripura, the indigenous people of Tripura, will realize that Tripura Motha is a way better option than IPFT. BJP itself, your first question being, will the BJP?
Yeah.
I don't think BJP will take IPFT very seriously. They will finish the term because there are MLAs and the MLA needs to be backed in the assembly. But BJP on its own, from whatever we are seeing, will either go on its own or will try to ally with us, or but I don't think BJP is going to waste its time in giving any seats to IPFT anymore.
Now, would you say that the IPFT has actually split into two, with one faction already, working with you, that is the Tripura Motha?
I think IPFT 80% has come with us already. So the 20% will eventually go to BJP. That's what is my calculation. And that is the way it's going to be.
So, for all practical purposes, Mr. Pradut Debarma saying that IPFT has split, with 80% of the IPFT having sided with Tripura Motha and the remaining 20% siding with the BJP. Now, Mr. Pradut Debarma, yesterday, former minister and senior IPFT leader Mewar Kumar Jamatia's wife has formally joined your party. Now, my question is, what about Mewar Jamatia himself? Is he also joining Tripura Motha?
See, I think it's better if Mewar answers that. His wife and Mewar, we have known the family for over 30 years. And the day Mewar started speaking about unity, the BJP government actually sacked him as a minister. IPFT, under the instruction of BJP, removed him as the president of the IPFT. And he was the general secretary before that. So it's very clear that anyone who speaks for unity will be punished by the present government. And his wife has joined us. And now if Mewar is wanting to come and be a part of our movement, he's most welcome. He's respected. And but he has to take the decision himself.
Okay, but that is very interesting. I'll try to bring NC Debarma also into the show now, because you are making very sensational allegations. Let me try to bring NC Debarma, IPFT leader, also into the frame if he is there with us. Yeah. Hold on, Mr. Pradyut Dev Burman. Let me bring IPFT's NC Dev Burma. Mr. NC Dev Burma, Tripura Motha chief Pradyut Dev Burman has accused you of betraying the interest of the tribals. He said you are only interested in power and position. Do you have anything to say?
That type of allegation, it is a political allegation only, not based on any ground reality. Because so-called Tripura Motha, a newly set up political party only from 2021, February 2021 only. So, the so-called new political party, Tripura Motha, having very limited exposure about the socio-economic and political scenario of Tripura state. So, the blatant allegation that IPFT or me only interested for the personal political gain, it is not fact at all. Because of the fact that our party is a recognized political party by the Election Commission of India right from 2009 onwards. And our basic demand is to create a new state, a separate state, totally based on the scheduled area, 6 scheduled areas in Tripura. That's why the very cherished desire of the indigenous population of Tripura, it is being reflected in our demand. It is
Right.
not the individual political demand, it is the common demand for the entire indigenous population of Tripura state.
Right.
And yes, uh, the political party, including national and regional political parties, they are in political activities for furtherance of their political uh, goal. So IPFT also having the political alliance and the uh, alliance and in coalition with the BJP right from 2018 onwards. It is not a fact that it is for the personal gain or personal interest, but it is for achievement of the goal of the tribal population.
Absolutely. Mr. NC Dev Burma, I request you to stay on because I'll go back once again to Mr. Pradyut Dev Burman. I have to leave him quickly because of a pre-scheduled engagement. Now, there you have heard Pradyut, you have heard Mr. NC Dev Burma totally rejecting the allegations that the IPFT is clinging on to power for their own interest, that NC Dev Burma is staying on in power for own interest. And he said that the IPFT's main interest is the welfare of the tribal people. So this debate will continue, but I'm not going to go into this debate, continue with this debate now. But Mr. Pradyut Dev Burman, my question is again, can Tripura Motha pose a real challenge to a big party like the BJP? More so because many say your party has a limited influence in the state.
No, I don't think we have limited influence. If we had limited influence, we wouldn't have won in the ADC. ADC is 70% of Tripura. Then outside ADC as well, we have tremendous support in the SC areas, the Manipuri areas, and the Muslim Muslim areas as well, because we again have spoken for all the marginalized people. And I think that the support base that we have is very committed. It's committed because we do not have the firepower with money of the
Yeah.
BJP. Yet, in every elections where we have gone head to head, we have won against them.
Okay, now everybody wants to know. Obviously, you have made your intentions clear, as I've said, to contest the coming assembly elections. Now, how many seats do you think that Tripura Motha will be able to contest in the coming elections, that is next year?
Well, we had zeroed in on 35, but looking at the present situation, we can go up to 40, 45 seats. But the sky is the limit, but we are definitely going to fight a lot more than any other regional party. And we are actually quite ready on the ground.
Okay, the Tripura Motha will fight at least 35 seats, and the number may go up to 45 seats. So, if necessary, the Tripura Motha is capable of fielding candidates in 45 seats. Now, now, Mr. Pradut Burma, do you think you would be able to field even non-tribal candidates in certain constituencies?
If they believe in our ideology, if you see the Surma seat, we have given it to an SC community. He's a Hindustani tea tribe. Nobody has given it to a Hindustani tea tribe for decades, but we have given them a chance, and I think that they should be heard in the assembly. So we don't see any problem as long as the individual subscribes to our ideology of Greater Tripura land, understands that our demand is for a political solution under the Constitution of India. Why should we deny anyone? We are a secular party. We do not speak of any religion. We do not speak of any. We don't speak against any community. So why should we restrict ourselves? We will fight with anyone as candidates as long as they believe in a core ideology of Greater Tripura land. Greater Tripura land is for all. It is not excluding anyone.
Right. Now, you see, you are saying that you will contest between 35 to 45 seats, but if you are seriously thinking of forming the government, you'll have to align with some political party or parties. Now, do you think there are parties with which Tripura Motha can work together?
I can work with CPM, I can work with Congress, I can work with BJP, I can work with Trinamool. Anyone who is willing to assure our people a constitutional solution in writing is who we are willing to work with. And if anyone is not ready for that, we will fight on our own. The fact is that I don't think anyone in Tripura, I think आपको question उल्टा ले जाना चाहिए. I don't think anyone in Tripura can form a government without Tripura Motha in it.
Okay, that is a lot of confidence there. Now, Mr. Pradut Burman, are you saying you have no enmity with anyone and have no problem ideologically to work together with the BJP, Congress, CPM, or even Trinamool, and that you are only interested in parties who are committed to the uplift of the tribal people in the state?
Constitutional solution. And my point being that till now, the narrative has been calling me Jinnah, calling me anti national. So, as long as this narrative continues, we are always going to talk to BJP. I'm quite happy that Jitendra Chaudhary, the General Secretary of the Communist Party, respected leader, has actually said that our demand is constitutional. I'm happy that the Congress party has come out and made a statement that our demand is constitutional and there should be a debate on it. And I hope that the BJP also wakes up, smells the coffee, and realizes that by calling me Jinnah or calling me anti national will not help. Ours is a demand very much within the Constitution of India. And they should agree that there has to be a political dialogue and a constitutional solution for the indigenous people who have suffered for very long in Tripura. I am not asking something which is against the grain of the Constitution of India.
So, Pradut Burman, fondly called Boobagra, they are saying that Tripura land demand is absolutely constitutional. So parties like the BJP should not call him, name calling him by saying that he is Jinnah or that he is anti-national. Now, finally, Mr. Pradut Burman, what is the message that you would like to send out to all the major political parties in Tripura? Because Tripura Motha is the newest kid on the block who wants to put up a serious fight in 2023.
Well, we are not a new kid on the block. This is a jungle, and a young tiger has entered the jungle. You can call him, you can mistake him for a kid, but a tiger is a tiger, and we indigenous people know how to stand up for our rights. So they should not take us lightly. And second, this is a message to the other parties in the Northeast. New Delhi does not take us seriously because they think that we are purchasable, whether it is the Congress in center or the BJP in center. I think it's time we showed a bit of spine. We stood up for our people. Eventually, we are here because the people have put us in this position. So it's time that regional parties, instead of doing a Delhi line for a few posts and for a few funds, we should actually stand up, hold our ground, and let New Delhi take us seriously. The problem with our parties in the Northeast is that we compromise too early. Stick to your ground and results will come. And as you said, we are the new kids on the block. Well,
Yeah.
we are not kids on the block. I think it's time to change the old system and the new system should come in. And we are there to change the new system, to bring in the new system.
Right. Mr. Pradeep Burman, thank you very much for speaking to me on Northeast Tonight.
Thank you, Asbir, for having me. You are as wonderful as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Pradyut Burman, the chairman of Tripura Motha. Very interesting words he used towards the end of this conversation. That Tripura Motha, a young tiger has entered the jungle. A tiger is a tiger. Now let me take this to Dr. Dilip Das of the BJP, very vocal BJP MLA, respected political leader in Tripura. Dr. Dilip Das, once again, welcome. Let me also welcome Mr. Mevar Kumar Jamatia. Let me also welcome Mr. Anthony Deb Barma, spokesperson of Tripura Motha. Let me also welcome Mr. N.C. Deb Barma, leader of the IPFT. Let me also welcome my old friend, Mr. Shekhar Datta, well-known journalist, political analyst. Welcome to the show. But let me go to you, Dr. Dilip Das. A young tiger has entered the jungle. Don't take us lightly. A tiger is a tiger after all. These were some of the words used by Mr. Pradyut Debbarma, the chief of the Tripura Motha. How do you react? What do you think will be the impact of Tripura Motha in the coming elections?
No, first of all, I do not understand why he has considered himself as a young tiger and considering the Tripura politics in a jungle. So even then, if he consider himself as a young tiger, but we know always the lion is the king of the jungle, then does he leave this place for some other political party? May it be Bharatiya Janata Party. So I don't think this example is right.
So,
Enough.
Dr. Dilip Das,
Yes.
Does the BJP in Tripura considers itself to be a lion?
No, we don't consider anybody with any animal. Because
But this
we
was
consider
just a symbolism, isn't it, being used?
No, even we do not consider, because we consider according to our philosophy, Sinnantu Vishya Amrita Shoputra. Mane every human being is the divine, and our total target is to expose the divinity and to convert a human being to a divine person, not to an animal. So I do not concede the idea that young tiger has entered into the jungle, and heritage of the Tripura is quite long. There are 184 kings were there, and nobody called this Tripura politics as a jungle.
So you have taken Pradyut Debbarma's words literally, but it's fine. I'll come back to you, Dr. Dilip Das. Let me go to Mr. Mevar Kumar Jamatia. Mr. Mevar Kumar Jamatia, your better half has joined the Tripura Motha yesterday. Now everybody is saying that it is only a matter of time when Mevar Kumar Jamatia is formally going to split part ways. You have already parted ways from the IPFT, and it's only a formality, and you are going to soon join the Tripura Motha and become one of its important leaders.
Thank you. Not this life. Of course, as a political leader, I always concentrate and think for the people of Tripura. And Tripura's situation is very different if you compare with West Bengal, Assam, Mizoram, Nagaland. Tripura is a very unique and different situation. You all know the indigenous people of Tripura have suffered for the last 75 years. Therefore, there are sentimental issues. Since 2009, I'm also founder of IPFT. And prior to that, I was a student leader and also human rights activities.
But my question is, yes, no, you are a very senior leader, Mr. Mevar Kumar Jamatia. My question is slightly different. My question is, are you joining the Tripura Motha? Is there a need? Is there a need for people like you to join Tripura Motha? Do you think Tripura Motha is becoming a voice for the tribal people? Are you going to join Tripura Motha and fight the other political parties?
I'm observing the situation and I'm go to the people, what people want. I'll take a decision of the people.
Okay. Yes, carry on. Complete your point.
If the majority people want to unite, which we call Tancha, because National Party always try to divide our small group and to weaken our voice.
So is there a need? Is there a necessity? Do you think the time has come for you people to unite? Tripura Motha and IPFT, whatever your group.
Yes, all people want to unite together and to raise the voice unitedly.
Okay, I will.
Our demand.
Right, I will come to absolutely. You are making the point that there is need for tribal forces to unite. But Mr. N.C. Debbarma, I'm coming to you, Mr. Shekhar Datta and Mr. Anthony Debbarma in a minute, and also go back to Dr. Dilip Das. But let me quickly go to Mr. N.C. Debbarma, veteran political leader, chief of the IPFT and a minister in the Manik Saha cabinet in Tripura. Mr. N.C. Debbarma, what happened? You know, there was an agreement between IPFT and Tripura Motha to merge and work together. What had actually happened?
It is the fact that before formation of political party Tripura Motha, that is prior to February 2021, there are a number of conversation, dialogue in between the chief of Motha, Dr. Kishore Devarma, and our party, including me. And based on that negotiation, Tripura Motha chief Dr. Kishore Devarma agreed upon to join to IPFT, and with the honorific position in our party. That was the agreement on the first stage. Subsequently, Tripura Motha, while formed the new political party, after also there was their conversation in between two political parties for having a united platform. But the thing remains that they are not interested for having a united platform. So-called Tripura Motha chief and their leaders, they are hanker after having the sovereignty and superiority in all respect, and they ask us to merge with their party, abolishing our recognized political party. It is not at all possible for any recognized political party to merge with any unrecognized political party.
Okay, that's a very important point which Mr. N.C. Burma said. That is the reason why the merger did not take place. That Tripura Motha wanted IPFT to merge by shedding its independent identity. And how can a recognized political party merge with an unrecognized political party? Anthony Deb Burma, do you have a quick comment? I'm going to Shekhar Datta for an independent analysis. Anthony, very quick comment.
See, the question is, it is not a question of identity of a recognized of a party, but the question is the Thansa. If we all become Thansa, if we all become united, no matter whether I'm recognized and you are not recognized, it doesn't make any sense. But the question is, one need to understand the unity so that we can achieve of our aim and objective. Otherwise, by standing of your own positions, you will not able to achieve anything that you actually aim for. I think that is only the difference. So one need to sacrifice to achieve something for the greater interest of the people.
Right.
Like,
okay.
I am ready to sacrifice of myself if my 1,000 millions people is going to achieve and going to get their political right.
Okay. Now, let me turn to Mr. Shekhar Datta, well-known journalist. Shekhar, what do you think at the end of the day, what kind of a potential do you think Tripura Motha has as far as what kind of an impact can Tripura Motha make in the coming elections? Because you have just heard Mr. Pradut Debbarma saying that they are definitely contesting 35 seats, but they may put up candidates in as many as 45 seats.
I don't think they will win more than 10, 15 seats. These seats are tribal reserve seats, which Tripura Motha may win. But this contesting 45 seats is only designed to make an impact, which is illusive, which will make no impact. They may cut into the votes in general constituencies represented by Congress, BJP, or other parties. But this will not make a very major impact. There may be a sharing of votes only, and this may turn the result this way or that way. But Tripura Motha will definitely win a number of seats in the ADC area. I mean, a number of seats reserved.
So Shekhar Datta, if the Tripura Motha, do you think they have the more potential to damage the IPFT than a party like the BJP?
Yes, Tripura Motha definitely has a greater potential, at least for the time being or on the short run. Ultimately, what will happen, I do not know, because Tripura Motha has been playing on a demand which is not practical and which will never materialize. So its supporters will soon get frustrated when it's
no, that is a different story. That is a different story. Shekhar, that is a different story. Whatever the demand is practical or impractical, that's not the issue. What I am asking you, will Tripura Motha damage IPFT more than the BJP, for example?
It will damage the IPFT more.
If that is the case, yes, if that is the case, if it damages the IPFT, then do you think it is irrelevant for the BJP to have an alliance with the IPFT? If IPFT cannot give any dividends, do you think they will still continue to be an ally of the BJP?
The trouble is that IPFT is a divided house now, and I don't know whether BJP will strike an alliance with IPFT. But IPFT will still remain. It has got leadership. it has got leadership, and the party will remain, but it may not be as strong as it was earlier.
Right.
It may not be able to make the impact it made earlier.
Absolutely.
Tripura will basically cut into the goods of IPFT. There is no doubt about that. And this happened in the ADC election also last year. IPFT could not win a single seat while Tripura formed the council.
That is the analysis by Shekhar Datta, that Tripura Motha will impact the IPFT more, and it will cut into the votes of the IPFT. If that is so, will the BJP strike an alliance with the IPFT in 2023 or not? That is left to be seen. Well, I'll go for a short break. When I come back, I'll ask that question to Dr. Dilip Das of the BJP. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
A university is much more than just a place to get your education. It not only helps you build your career, but also your personality and mindset. At Assam Royal Global University, you will get the most suitable environment to gain knowledge and also grow as a person. The university has the best infrastructure with all the required facilities and best quality equipment for any kind of educational need.
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में बड़े छोटे साथ आओ ऐश करो नाचो गाओ मस्ती में आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Build your dream at the Assam Royal Global University. Success is not an overnight phenomenon. You need to work hard and go through the grind every day to achieve what you want. Engineer, fashion designer, or someone working in the field of medical science, or the CEO of your own company, you can dream anything and make that happen here at the Assam Royal Global University.
সুগন্ধ ৰং আৰু সোৱাদ খাতি এভৰিডে জিভাত দিয়ে আচল জুতি এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ 100% টেষ্ট এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ বেষ্ট
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में बड़े छोटे साथ आओ ऐश करो नाचो गाओ मस्ती में आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में
Welcome back. Let me go straight to Dr. Dilip Das of the BJP. Dr. Dilip Das, if Tripura Motha impacts the IPFT, and if they cut into the votes of the IPFT, and IPFT is already a divided house, then what are the chances of the BJP striking an alliance or continuing with the alliance with the IPFT for the 2023 elections?
Now, one thing is clear that Mr. N.C. Dev he has put his reliance and also trust on the Bharatiya BJP, and he is in the main line. So he has proved that he is willing to continuation, and BJP never discards his partner until the partners dissociate themselves, and that decision will be taken by the party high command in appropriate time. In continuation of my previous answer, what you said, and I had a short answer, I can only assure that BJP do not want a jungle rush. So regarding the continuation and alliance with the Bharati IPFT, we never said that we will dissociate, and we have trust. Another thing, though the IPFT lost in the ADC election, we contested 11 seats, and out of 11 seats, we won 10 seats. So nobody should consider that BJP is not a power factor at
So,
ADC area.
are you saying, Dr. Das, that the BJP can do even without an alliance partner like the IPFT? That's
No,
what you
no,
are
when
saying.
we said it, no, we never said it, because I said the NC De Burma, being the chairman of the party, he has put his alliance, and we have given the 2 ministers, and they
Right.
are continuing. Why we will lose our friend?
Okay.
Any
Let
strength
me.
whichever comes to the
Right.
main line,
Right.
definitely we'll accept it.
Right. Let me go to Mr. NC De Burma. Mr. NC De Burma, do you think, Mr. De Burma, that the split in IPFT has benefited the Tripura Motha? And who do you blame for this?
It is not the question of split itself. There is no any sort of amalgamation or merger. So there is no question for a split. Our party, IPFT, is standing on our own footings and having separate identity right from 2009. So there is no question of split because IPFT had never been joined with any political party till now.
So, Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia, you have heard Mr. NC De Burma saying that he doesn't think there is a split. But you have said during the last program also, you have admitted that IPFT has split. And today also, Mr. Pradut De Burma has said that IPFT has split, and 80% of the IPFT are today with Tripura Motha. And only yesterday, your wife has also joined the IPFT. Mr. Jamatia, Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia, can you hear me?
Yes.
No. My question is, Mr. NC De Burma does not think that there is a split in the IPFT. But you had confirmed in the last show, on my show, that IPFT has actually split. Can you once again clarify the position? Today, are you with the IPFT led by NC De Burma, or are you leading a separate faction of the IPFT?
See, in ground reality, there is a lot of confusion among our party. So that thing is still sorted out.
No.
And see,
no. Let me,
politics have to perform
Mr. Jamatia,
our work,
Mr. Jamatia,
our activities. Without activities, without performance,
no, true.
no political party can survive.
No, Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia, you are saying, you are not answering my question. You are saying that there is a lot of confusion in the party. You are not willing to confirm in a clear terms that there is split. One faction is led by you, and the other faction is led by NC De Burma. Don't you think that you are yourself creating this confusion? You are creating this confusion.
See, that is the problem. I've explained earlier also. As per rule and constitution of our party, IPFT, every 3 years we have an election. We change the committee. Like that, on 3rd and 4th April, we did the same. And with majority, people support me, and I was elected as a president. Till now, I'm the president. I'm working as the IPFT president. So
okay, but you are but for all, Pradut De Burma has clearly confirmed that IPFT has split. 80% of the people are working with him. That includes you. You are also working with the Tripura Motha and Mewar Kumar Jamatia. You are not an ally of the BJP anymore. Dr. Dilip Das is on the show. You cannot say that you are an ally of the BJP, whereas Mr. NC De Burma is an ally of the BJP.
Still now, we are in the same party. I'm still IPFT.
Are you an ally of the BJP? Is Mewar Kumar Jamatia?
I'm aligned with the BJP.
So, Dr. Dilip Das, is Mewar Kumar Jamatia also your alliance? Is he individually? Is he your ally?
No, we do not consider anything as individual. We have make an alliance with the IPFT, and the chairman himself has associated with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So we do not know their internal factors, but we are still with the alliance with the IPFT.
So therefore, Mewar Kumar Jamatia also is a part of that alliance.
No, we have. It is the decision of the IPFT that the NC Devarma choose a different person for the post of minister. So he has not been only the minister. Rest of the knowledge within them, what is his understanding with the Tripura Mota, we don't know. So long somebody do not join in any other party, we
Mewar
cannot
Kumar
say
Jamatia,
by confirm that.
Mewar Kumar Jamatia, the impression I am getting, because you are not saying anything clearly, the impression I am extending this show, Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia, the impression I am getting is that you don't want to commit anything. You don't want to say that you will join with the Tripura Motha. You are hoping that you will be the sole leader of the IPFT and then continue with the alliance with the BJP. Is my understanding correct?
Yes, it's correct. It's correct.
So Shekhar Datta,
I don't comment that.
Right.
Because as a leader, political leader, I always put to the paper. I have to perform my duty. I have to work. I have to go to the people. Because self-claiming, self-style leaders will not last long.
So
people is there.
No, that is the point. That is the problem. You are also supporting Tripura Motha, and you are also supporting BJP. Is that the position?
Right now, who said I support Tripura Motha? I have an understanding with that because Mother Podikishur is my, we have family relationship. We have a different special understanding with him. He may be Congress, he may be BJP, he may be whatever he may be. But he's my good friend. This is different matter.
So, Anthony Debbarma, I'm coming to you, Shekhar Datta, in a minute. Anthony Debbarma, what do you make from what Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia is saying? He has a special relationship with the Tripura Motha chief. At the same time, he's saying that who said I am supporting Tripura Motha? Don't you think that the people are getting confusing signals? What do you make of it personally? What do you think?
Tripura Motha doesn't like to comment of other individuals or other political party decisions, but we always believe the Tansa, the unity. So as long as people comes into Tripura Motha, we have no rights to comment of others whom they support, whom they don't support. But we always welcome
you are treating
all the other
I can understand.
You
are trying to be absolutely politically correct. You are trying to be very diplomatic. I can understand your compulsions. Now, Shekhar Datta, it's a very interesting situation, isn't it? Nobody wants to. Everybody is holding the cards close to their chest. I can understand Anthony Debbarma's situation. I can understand Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia's situation. And I can also understand Dr. Dilip Das, very politically correct, when he said that when we have struck a relationship, we have struck an understanding with the IPFT as a political party, not with individuals. He is absolutely right. Now, as someone who is outside the political system, how do you look at it? Shekhar.
I think this is more or less natural. Things are in a state of flux, and it will take time for things to take a concrete shape. Moreover, BJP can never support demand for a better technology, which is as yet completely undefined. They should define what they really mean by better technology. All parties are in a state of predicament, and Senate will never agree to such a demand. They will never give any assurance, verbal or written. Though Mr. Pradip Kishore is insisting.
No, we are not discussing. We are not discussing that. We are not discussing whether the government will agree to the demand or not. That we are not discussing that at all. We are only discussing this is the demand being raised. Raising, everybody is free to raise a demand. We are not discussing today that, and there has been no discussion, no dialogue has started between the government and the tribal political parties, including Tripura Motha. But since we are talking about the demand, let me go to NC Dev Burma. Mr. NC Dev Burma, let me ask once and for all a very clear-cut question. Because there is a lot of speculation, Mr. NC Dev Burma, that you decided to support the BJP because you have agreed to withdraw your demand for a separate Tripura land. So my question is very specific. Are you against a separate Tripura land state demand?
I am just repeating again and again. Our main motto or objective is to create a new state based on the scheduled areas of Tripura state territory. Not more than that.
Okay, I mean this is very interesting because Mr. NC Dev Burma saying that I have been saying again and again, I have been repeating that we are in favor of a separate Tripura land within the scheduled state. Now, but Mr. Dev Burma, your critics are saying, as I have said earlier, your critics are saying that the BJP has made you a minister because you have agreed not to demand a separate tribal state.
No. The government, whether in coalition with more than one party, likewise in other states also, with different political parties, particularly regional political parties, having their own demand itself. Even then, there may be a coalition government having different political goal. That is the thing. Likewise, in other states in northeastern region, Tripura also having the coalition government. Although the basic identity or basic objective may not be common for all the political coalition partner.
Right. At this point, I have to go. I have to go to Dr. Dilip Das. Dr. Dilip Das, you just heard. I don't need to ask you a question. Please respond to what Mr. NC Dev Burma has said, that he has been saying again and again. He has been repeating that his party is demanding a separate Tripura land state within the scheduled status.
Now, one thing we must follow that in 1949, 15th of October, when Tripura marched with government of India, there are some terms and conditions. So again, at that time in the constitution, there is also 6 schedule and 7 schedule. So on the basis of the schedule, anybody can put their demand. But it is the BJP, there is the central government, their rules and regulation. Whatever is feasible, we have made extended committee to give all the benefits to the tribal people. And what the Pradut Dev Burma is telling always, he is talking of the tribals only. He talking of the greater Tripura land means a greater geographical area. But so far as the Tripura is concerned, other than 1980 June, there was no communal disturbances. Both tribals and Bengalis are living very peacefully here. But these sort of comments and their division, I think this will create some disturbance within the other community rather than this Tiprasa. And being the member of the royal family, which his forefathers had maintained a good relation, but now his intention to capture the power and to be the I think that is disturbing him. One thing I can put the question: he's calling himself is a young tiger, but being in the this ADC, they have won the ADC election. Why he have taken and not taken the responsibility to rule the ADC area? So bring the emotional statement,
but
and
that
to
shows
correct the opinion
that
is
shows
quite different.
No, Dr. Dilip Das, you said that the Pradut Dev Burma is doing everything for power and that he is power hungry. Then you are again asking the question, why did he not take responsibility? that means that he will argue, Tripura Motha, he will argue that he is not interested in power, therefore he has given to a fellow colleague.
I can rather I'll call me escapist, because to rule the state, administer the state, or administer and to make political statement and gather the people is totally different. Until and unless you are within the system, it sometimes says to change the system. Until and unless you do not enter within the system, you cannot understand what are the problems. Because I am here for 4.5 years, my constituency is 50% in the panchayat, 50% in the area, municipal area. So I know everything. So one is to learn also before making any emotional statement.
I'll have to go for another very quick break. Anthony Debbarma, your quick response. Dr. Dilip Das has said that Tripura Motha, your chief, Pradut Debbarma, is actually doing everything to be in power. He is power hungry. And then he has described him as an escapist because he did not take responsibility when he won the Tripura council elections.
It's a matter of common sense to understand whether he is power hungry or he is not power hungry. You could imagine even after winning the PTADC election, he didn't take any ministership. That itself shows that he is not power hungry. When somebody put a question that he is a power hungry, it is up to him. And also I would like to comment that when Mr. Dilip Das was commenting that his forefather were living peace and harmony with the Bengali and the indigenous people. And in fact, he's much more peace-loving and he's much more having a good relationship with every community.
Okay. I will have to go for a very quick break. When I come back, I'll go straight to Mr. Mevar Kumar Jamatia for his views on some of these points just raised. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
A university is much more than just a place to get your education. It not only helps you build your career, but also your personality and mindset. At Assam Royal Global University, you will get the most suitable environment to gain knowledge and also grow as a person. The university has the best infrastructure with all the required facilities and best quality equipment for any kind of educational need.
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में बड़े छोटे साथ आओ ऐश करो नाचो गाओ मस्ती में आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Introducing the new Suzuki Avenus, the sportiest, zippiest ride in town that's loaded with next generation GPS navigation.
নতুন মিউজিক ডাইরেক্টর রোহানে এতিয়ালৈকে মিউজিক পঠোৱা নাই।
I've got it. The new Suzuki Avenus, more zip for trip.
आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में बड़े छोटे साथ आओ ऐश करो नाचो गाओ मस्ती में आओ यहाँ बार बार खेलो झूमो कूदो यहाँ मस्ती में
মই ব্যৱহাৰ কৰো আটাইতকৈ সবল আৰু সতেজ সিমেন্ট সূৰ্য সিমেন্ট। সূৰ্য সিমেন্ট অটুট ঘৰ অটুট অসম।
হিমালয় পিউৰিফাইং নিম ফেচ ৱাছ এও এক্সপাৰ্ট কেনেকৈ
এটো ক্লিনিক্যালি প্রুভেন হয় যে ইয়াৰ আছে নিম আৰু হালধিৰ এন্টিব্যাকটেৰিয়েল গুণ যি পিম্পল আঁতৰ কৰে আৰু স্কিন কৰি তোলে একেবাৰে হেলদি।
বাহ!
হিমালয় পিউৰিফাইং নিম ফেচ ৱাছ, পিম্পল ফ্ৰী হেলদি স্কিনৰ এক্সপাৰ্ট।
Welcome back. Before I come to Mr. Mewar Kumar Jamatia, let me ask a straight and simple question to Dr. Dilip Das. Dr. Dilip Das, the BJP, will it be correct to understand that the BJP does not support a separate Tripura land demand for the tribal people, a separate tribal homeland in Tripura?
Our stand is very clear from the very beginning. That is why we have made a high power committee to find out all the problems, all the how to make the people powerful. It is not that it is separate state or whatever may be the condition. It is the condition that the how the we can fulfill the basic needs and improve the condition. It is that you just see for the last 25 years that ADC was led by these tribal people only. Why there is no change? It is not the who rule it. How properly it is ruled, that is the question. And BJP is a national party. It is a good alliance with its partner, and it has a quite common influence on the tribal people. We don't want to dissociate Bengali people, which comprises 70%, and the tribal people 30%. Though there are 70% of the land is for the 30% of the people, and in 30% of the land, both the communities and all the communities are living very peacefully.
Right. I think that's a very valid point which Dr. Dilip Das is making. Mr. Mewar Jamatia, he is making 2-3 very important and valid points. He said that for the last 25 years, the ADC was, Autonomous District Council was not ruled by non-tribals. It was ruled by tribals. So then it's a question of empowering the tribal people. It's not a question of whether, even if you get a separate state, the people may not get the benefits. So how do you respond? Is a tribal state absolute necessity? Do you think that tribal people cannot stay under the present dispensation in the geographical boundary of Tripura? What is the problem?
Very interesting question you have asked. I think in my experience, for the last 30 years, till date, no Patel leader in Tripura as well in Delhi did not understand the core issue of our people. Say, why the separate statehood demand has come up? Did any political leaders analyze this matter? He talk about ADC. ADC have ruled about 35 years. Of course, it is ruled by indigenous people. But what is the power? It is like a puppet. If you compare with Karbi Anglong, Uduland, our autonomous council is very, very negligible. You talk about land issues. All the land issues, now many tribal land are illegally occupied by non-tribal since 70 years. It was solved. Come to reality. All the land belong to ST, but illegally occupied by non-ST. Did anybody seriously think all about this? Language issue. Our Kokborok is a state language. For the last 45 years, the language issue is not solved. Who will solve the problem? Congress, BJP, CPM. Nobody is serious on this matter. Our people, indigenous people, economically, socially, educationally, politically, marginalized or deprived. If you compare with the Hasil District Council and Tripura District Council, there are day and night different.
But okay, Mr. Mewar Jamatia.
Again,
yeah,
I want to ask a small question to the Dilip, our honorable MLA. I respect him very much. He's learned man. We have constituted high-level committee 2018. How many years passed? How many time meeting has done? I remember only one meeting, only one visit, the high-level committee to Tripura for the last 4.5 years.
Okay.
Only one time they came and visit.
Yeah.
It is almost deferred, almost finished.
Please allow.
Only name.
Please allow
Only
Dilip
name
Das
is
to
the
answer.
high-level committee.
Right.
But
Please
there is
allow.
no any activities.
Please allow Dilip Das to answer and respond. Mr. Das, respond. Dr. Das, respond, please.
Actually, if you have any grievance, we will have to make this point valid within the framework of your alliance. You cannot make it comments outside. Once you have accepted the terms and condition, you become the minister. So now you cannot express your anguish against the alliance. There are many factors. The central government, state government itself cannot make the comments or take the decision. So it is in the process. Every time they are talking with the central leadership. So this is not the right time or appropriate way to make any comments.
Okay, but Mr. Jamatia,
See, I-50 is, I'm telling you, all the official correspondent, official work is done by me. I went several times. I met Amit Shahji, I met Narendra Modi ji, J.P. Nadda ji, even our Chief Minister, ex-Minister Biplab Jatvi. I submitted lot of memorandum, document, but this was not taken care of.
Okay, but now my point is, if the anguish, the grievances which you have just expressed, now we are just observing the situation as journalists. We are observing from outside. Therefore, my comment is based on my observation. I may be wrong. Please correct me. Now, we have not seen the IPFT leading a mass movement, raising these issues, demanding a separate state, unlike Tripura Motha did in the last couple of months. And that is the reason why Tripura Motha swept the ADC elections, because these were emotional issues. And this is led by Pradyut Debbarman, who has a royal lineage. Now you are saying that you are an alliance partner. So, and at the same time, you are saying that the alliance have done nothing. Therefore, do you want to say, my question is simple again. Do you think that IPFT, do you think that NC Debbarma should quit the alliance, sever the alliance? I mean, what is your personal opinion? Because it is up to NC Debbarma to, it is free to be in the alliance. Because the BJP has made its stand very clear right from the beginning. BJP has not said first that, okay, we'll give you a separate state and come and join us. BJP has said that they are not committed. Still, the IPFT joined the BJP as an ally. Now, my question is, should NC Debbarma and IPFT continue, or you are saying that you are also IPFT? Now, should you continue with the alliance, or you should leave the alliance? Because a lot of people watching the show have commented, asking this question.
That is what I want to be very clear. It is up to the NC Debbarma. What is his opinion? I can understand. But my personal submission as a leader, we have to perform our duty and see IPFT once upon a time is the strongest party in Tripura. I can make very sure 2018 without IPFT and BJP cannot come to the power. Everybody knows. But expectation of the people to IPFT is become very much negligent. They have high hope, high expectation. The IPFT will perform. I will do something for people of Tripura. That's what was my pain. I have met several times Home Minister.
Right.
I have raised a lot of questions.
Okay. All right. All right. Now, Shekhar Datta, you wanted to say something. Yes, Shekhar Datta.
What is your question?
No, you wanted to make a comment because they are saying that, I was asking this question to Mewar Jamatia, that they are saying that Mewar Jamatia has expressed his anguish, saying that he has submitted several memorandums to the Union Home Minister as well as to the former Chief Minister, Mr. Biplab Deb, and the grievances were not addressed. Now my question is whether in that case the IPFT should continue with the alliance or not, because the BJP has made their terms very clear. BJP did not say, Dr. Dilip Das is sitting on the show. BJP did not say that, okay, come and join us, we'll give you a separate Tripura land state. Now, what should be the stand of the IPFT according to you?
Masbir, I think this thing should be explained by IPFT leadership, not myself.
All right.
Already made it clear that it will not accept the demand of separate Tripura land, and nor will it accept the demand for greater Tripura land. So things are already very clear.
So, Anthony
and Pratyut has already made it clear that he will not go for an alliance with any party that will not give him a written assurance about supporting Tripura.
Yes.
Which again is undefined, which he has not defined properly and clearly. And in any case, I don't think either BJP or Congress or any other national party will agree to divide Tripura. But it is a legitimate demand that ADC be empowered, and ADC should function properly with adequate financial support. This demand is very legitimate. It should be implemented immediately. And yes, it is correct. Center has been sitting over the demand of IPFT for empowerment of ADC and amendment of fixed schedule for quite a long time. It is high time it is not
absolutely
done. And it should be done in the next session of Parliament.
Right.
It is my view.
Absolutely. Let me turn once again to Mr. NC Debbarma. Mr. NC Debbarma, let us look at 2023 elections. Now, whether you agree or not, whether Mr. Jamatia agrees or not, but it is clear that there is a split, there is a divide within the IPFT. Now, will you be able to make an impact or emerge as a force to be reckoned with in 2023? Mr. NC Debbarma.
This is a common phenomenon of the political scenario. This is a common phenomenon of the political scenario, not at this stage, but from the years together in the last decades also. There are the joining, rejoining, and repeating. These are the scenarios of the political parties. So it is not only blaming for the IPFT, there only the supporters or a few leaders march to other political parties. Not only it is only the case of the IPFT. It is the case common for all political parties. The main national party, Congress, National Congress. What is the scenario of the National Congress? There are numbers of splitting out and having the new political parties, including Trinamool Congress, this and that. So this is not the only the common thing for the IPFT as a political party. There are the IRM and GOIRM in all time.
Yeah.
It is there. It is the accepted fact. It is the political character.
No. In the next elections, Mr. NC Debbarma, what is your prediction? Do you think what would be the IPFT's results? How are you going to perform? And most importantly, do you think you will be able to continue, or you are going to continue your alliance with the BJP?
That is the main issue now, because election is nearing by around 8 or 9 months only. So that is to be thinking over. Up till now, we are with the alliance with BJP and also in the coalition. We are continuing this one, and the general election for the Tripura Legislative Assembly, how to be, it is to be tackled, how to be addressed, it will be decided on time only.
that's a very interesting position taken by Mr. N.C. Debbarma. He is not committing whether IPFT will have an alliance with the BJP in the next elections. So he has not said categorically that he'll have an alliance. But finally, to you, I'm running short of time. Finally, to you, Mr. N.C. Debbarma, are you in any kind of dialogue, any talks going on between IPFT and Tripura Motha, or is there any possibility in the coming days?
No. Whatever the practical scenario will be coming out before the general election of the Tripura Assembly, it is not yet to be finalized. It is to be finalized on time.
So
by
again,
IPFT.
very significantly, my panelists must have surely taken note. Mr. N.C. Debbarma, even to now saying that he is not committed whether he will have an alliance with the BJP in the coming elections. He is also not saying that whether he is going to have talks with the Tripura Motha or not. He is not rejecting, not ruling out talks with the Tripura Motha before the elections. Final comments from all the panelists. Final comments. First, Anthony Debbarma. You have heard N.C. Debbarma saying that, not ruling out talks or not saying that there will be talks. How do you read his mind?
Was it the something like that? I think it must be from your part.
Okay, N.C. Debbarma, we have lost the line there. Final comments from you, Dr. Dilip Das. How do you see the political equations panning out in the days ahead?
Now, one thing, Mr. N.C. Debbarma has made a very nice point. He has raised a question. Though the only issue that what is the Mr. Pradut Debbarma is making this Thansa and Greta Tripura land or Triprasa. He has raised the question: what will be the picture of socio-political and economic status? Do you know that Tripura has only an annual income of 1200 to 1300 crore? And moreover, since the inception or rather the accommodation with the government of India, at that time there was agreement. The main revenue used to come from the Chagda Rosonabad, and which was now in Bangladesh. And in a tribal people, while in state of the Tripura, they need not pay direct taxes. And indirect taxes they pay, but if it is a Tripura land or the Greater Triprasa, who will pay the revenue? Where from the revenue will come? What will be the socio-political relationship?
Right.
So just emotionally talking everything, it is not feasible.
Right.
So what from the money will come? Then again 100% will have to depend on the center.
Yes.
So
now
this is you should have consider everything pros and cons. Just making a emotional statement and attracting the young boys, and rather I will say it's misleading, and it may also disturb the communal harmony.
Okay, let me turn to you. Final comments from Mr. Shekhar Datta. Shekhar Datta, in 2016, in 2018, BJP came with a huge force in Tripura and managed to demolish the 25-year-old rule of the CPM-led left front in the state. Now today, just 5 years later, there are 2-3 new political players in Tripura. One is the Tripura Motha. You like it or not, Tripura Motha is trying to spread its tentacles. What will be the end result is a different story. Now Trinamool Congress desperately trying to make a toehold. I am not using the word foothold. Desperately trying to make a toehold in Tripura and making a lot of noise. And there is the Congress who is trying to revive itself with people like Sudeep Roy Burman once again joining the original party that he belonged to. Now, do you think things will be very smooth for the BJP in 2023? Or do you think the BJP cannot take things lightly? Final comments, very quickly.
Things are in a state of flux. Trinamool will not be able to do anything except providing some comic interlude to the green drama of politics. Tripura Motha will win a number of seats in scheduled tribe areas and will partially impact result in failures also. And Congress is gaining in strength. Congress will couple seats this time, either in the next assembly election. And BJP will have to fight hard because BJP has not been able to deliver on what it promised before the last assembly election. So BJP will be in a tough time and they will have to fight very hard. That is the thing which I
BJP will have to fight hard. So what Shekhar Datta is saying that BJP cannot take things lightly and will have to fight hard. Now, Mewar Kumar Jamatia, will tribal politics be a key factor? Will tribal politics be a key factor in 2023 elections? Will separate Tripura land demand be one of the poll issues? BJP may go all out saying that we oppose the Tripura demand. There will be polarization on that. And the tribals will say, the tribal political parties, including the IPFT, will have no option but to tell the people that we will push for a separate tribal state and then there will be tribal polarization. Do you think we are heading for a polarization on ethnic lines in the coming elections? What do you think? Final comments.
That is very much true. For the last 25 years, with CPM led from government's rule in Tripura because of ST seat. CPM have always occupied 20 seats out of 20. Hardly Congress get 1 or 2. Maximum seat is captured by this party. The same thing will happen in Tripura. BJP have to depend ST seat, 20 seat. That is very for sure. Because in general seat, CPM is very strong. When Congress will do something better, so BJP cannot depend to
all right. I'm running completely. Absolutely. BJP, according to Mewar Kumar Jamatia, we cannot ignore the tribal political parties because they will have to bank on the tribal seats. They cannot ignore the tribal seats. That's what Mewar Kumar Jamatia is saying. For 20 seconds to you, Anthony, Tripura Motha, do you think will be a major force in the elections?
Definitely, Tripura Motha will be the major force. And without Tripura Motha, no party will able to form the government. And
all right.
We are strongly confident that we'll definitely succeed and will make.
All right, Anthony Debbarma of the Tripura Motha saying basically that the Tripura Motha will be the kingmaker. But at the end of the day, as I always say, the voters are the king. But all said and done, the Tripura is poised to have or to witness very, very interesting elections. The fault lines are drawn and we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold in the days ahead. You cannot rule out the policy, cannot rule out the capability of the BJP to spring surprises. They have always done so. They have got a fantastic election strategic machinery to deal with elections. But Tripura Motha is banking on an emotional appeal at this point in time. The Congress, as Shekhar Datta said, is getting stronger. Old people, some old guards of the party are returning back. CPM is trying to perhaps, learn from its past mistakes. And IPFT, of course, wondering whether or not to continue with the alliance. All said and done, we are going to witness a very, very interesting elections in Tripura. And of course, where again, the voters will be the king. I thank all my panelists for participating in this engaging discussion tonight and for the viewers for watching the show. Good night and goodbye.